What's happening, everybody? This is Donald George, and you can catch me on the next episode of Love Notes with my sister. This is a family affair. My sister, Taquita Love.
Hey,
Let's do it.
Taquita Love. We the love notes. She's a nurse. And she slang them jokes. Save your life if you with the right advice. Medicine and some laughter every night.
But it's crazy. People always want hookups. My mama called me at work today and was like, you think you could bring home a couple cases of flu shots for your sister baby shower? We just gonna set a table up and you could just do your thing. You want me to administer flu shots at the baby shower? Well, you could put them in the gift bags if you don't want to get a shot.
I had to stalk you to get you here.
I ain't hard to find.
And I'm
just hard to
happy
reach.
I did.
Yeah.
Because you've been busy.
I've been busy. Let me tell y'all something. Today, are we allowed to date this?
Date this?
Like say, okay, put it like this. It's a Thursday at 4:00 in the afternoon, and we are in the heart of the city, and I live in the valley.
Oh, yeah.
And I came to see Taquita Love and do this podcast. So clearly, I ain't hard to find when it comes to certain people like her.
Oh,
Make no mistake about it.
Why people be trying to act like they love me?
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what's up. I feel you. Thank you so much.
That's what we do. Come on.
Yeah.
I got to get people the backstory.
Oh, no, I will. I was going to get into
go
that.
ahead. Do that.
So Donald George, for those that don't know, he's an actor. And the first time I saw you, before I met you, I saw you performing at, I believe not Two Rose Theater, but the theater on Wilshire. And you played an AIDS patient.
Oh, wow.
You played an AIDS patient.
I
didn't even know you.
That was at Nate Holden.
Nate Holden Theater.
That was at the Nate Holden Theater. That was well before I started stand-up.
I didn't know you. I saw you, and you killed that.
It was so it was the NAACP Theater Fest.
Oh, sorry.
That's what it was, NAACP Theater Fest, and they used to have 10-minute plays, and I did a 10-minute play, and in that play I was an AIDS patient. Dang, you know what's crazy about that? Like, as much as I was doing out here, like trying to do background work, and I did that 10-minute play, and for years people walked up to me like, I remember you, man. You had AIDS. You know what I'm saying? Like, true story. I didn't know that's where you saw me.
You didn't, like, that was the first time I ever saw you in life.
Wow.
And you made such a good impression. Like, you were just like, you killed it.
Dang, I remember that.
You killed it. I was like, because I'm a lover of the arts.
Yeah.
So I go to theater, I go to plays all the time.
Damn, Taquita, you just blew my mind with that, because I really truly thought the first time we met was at we met at Daniel Hoff.
Yeah, but we didn't meet.
That's true.
When I saw you in that play.
You did say that.
I saw you there, and you were very talented. You know what I mean? It was just like that. I felt it. And then what?
Because I didn't expect you to say that. I didn't expect you caught me with that one. That's a good one.
But that was when that's when I was like, I know your name. I just knew your face, and I knew that you was the guy that had played a role in those plays. That and everything was amazing on that day.
That made me feel good. I ain't gonna even front. You just made my day a little bit.
Come on now.
You just made my day.
That's why we here. That's why we here.
You know what I'm saying? All right, Doc.
And then later on in life, I don't know how long it was, but I met you. Did we meet comedy wise, or where did we meet?
No. So I know I ran into you at Daniel Hoff. But prior to that, I want to say, because at Daniel Hoff, I looked at you were a familiar face, which means we probably met at Tammy Mac's Mixers.
I did go to
Tammy Mac's microphone mixers. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Tammy Mac. She used to do this thing back in the day called Mac's Minute Microphone Mixer, where you had a minute to do a monologue, to sing a song, rap, or do some stand up or whatever. And she had like a talent rep, a playwright, and a manager. They were all there watching you and stuff, and a lot of people got work off that. Yeah. That's how I actually got to do my first big play, which was with Brandy Burks, called Nylons.
And I saw you in Nylons too.
That's crazy.
Because a good friend of mine, Chad, is very good. I don't know to what, Chad Decatur, who became a mentor of mine.
Yeah.
But he works with Brandy.
Yes.
And she did another one, Nylons. She had one about the homeless people
Under the freeway.
under the freeway. And I went to all her plays.
Yep.
I just became like,
I miss theater, man.
jump back. It ain't went nowhere.
You have no idea. That's my plan this year.
Because you like annihilate
I miss
acting.
That shit. We'll get into it, but I love acting. Trust me, my stand-up has got my name a lot further than auditioning and stuff like that. But, you know, last year I was really sitting thinking like I miss performing. I miss acting. I miss filmmaking. I miss all that shit. And then, you know, I had some real eye-opening moments last year. Some like very like tragic events. Lost a couple of people. One in particular that was just like, I can't waste some prayers. I lost my grandmother last year, and she used to pray for me a whole lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't waste some prayers no more.
Yeah.
I gotta do it. So, yeah.
And you're very talented.
I appreciate that.
The fact that that is you. That's when I met you. Like,
yeah.
But we didn't meet. But that's when I saw you.
What's funny about that play? What's funny about Nylons? Nylons is the play that made me finally say, you know what? I'm gonna try stand up because she let me. I only had like 3 or 4 lines in the play, but she let me rewrite them. And we in this big theater, you know, the Wilshire Ebell, and the lines got a few laughs. That was it.
But you.
And between that and the movie Batman, the Batman movie, like The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, it just came out. And that came out that year, and I was teetering on. I was in the Army for 11 years, for those who don't know. And I was teetering on, like, should I stay in the Army? Should I get out the Army? Should I stay in? Went to go see The Dark Knight, and there was have you seen The Dark Knight Rises?
I probably have, but
it's Christian Bale, and this when he fought Bane. But anyway, he had got thrown into this well. And while he was in the well, like, he had been hearing these stories about how everybody kept trying to get out this well and couldn't get out. And then he finally asked, like, because the child was the only one that was able to figure it out. And he asked what happened, and he said, how did the child do it? And he said, without the rope. And he talked about how fear is a good thing. Like, you got to use your fear as motivation. I shit you not. I got up, walked out the theater, and called my sergeant, like, hey, I'm not coming back. I'm not going to re-enlist. I'm just going to get out the Army, and that's going to be it. I'm going to be done. So all that happened in, you know, July of 2012. All that, yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
And look at you now.
Yep.
So we met. I hate to do the story of how, like, the comedy
it's important.
journey.
It's the reason I'm sitting here right now doing this podcast.
But so
it's true.
So believe it or not, Donald and I have become friends, like, at some point because of comedy.
Yep.
And like, we were neighbors at some point.
Yep. Before.
Our birthdays in the same month. We're both Tauruses.
Yep. 2 days apart.
Come on, Taurus. And we do comedy shows a lot together.
Yep. I make sure to put you on every time I got a show around my birthday. I got to put you on. I may do one this year. My mom and them coming out here this year.
Okay, mom and them coming.
Mom and them coming.
Come on.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So Donald tells the story different than I tell it. But I'll let you tell it because it's about you right now.
All right, so I'll tell it, then she'll tell, because she remembers more details. As if y'all can't tell, she remembers very, you know. So we met at Daniel Hoff. It was like a big casting call for like trying to get representation.
They weren't messing with me.
They weren't messing with me either. You know what I'm saying? Like, ever at all. That's cool. And like I said, I was fresh out of the Army.
Because I was like, Jill.
Yeah. See?
He said fresh out. I was like, wait a minute.
Out.
I know.
So I don't know how we started talking about comedy. Maybe because of the mix or whatever. And you were like, come with me. You know what I'm saying? Woo, come with me. Come around. And the first place we went to was the Ha Ha Cafe. And I didn't even get on stage. Just walking in the comedy club, I was terrified. And you got to remember, I told you I was in the Army. I had been to Afghanistan. I'd been to Iraq. None of that scared me like walking into that comedy club and the thought of getting on stage.
And I was like, just sign your name up. Just get in it.
And I was shaking the whole time. And I saw a guy get up there. And he was pretty bad. But he was bold. And then afterwards, we walked and went to the Amsterdam Cafe, and I as I was walking up, I heard laughs, and I didn't even walk in. I left. I left. You was like, "Where you go?" Made up some shit.
Because at that time I was on the grind. I was like,
At that time, you live on the grind.
I was like,
You live
all
on
the
the
clubs.
So I wound up going back out with you, and I went back to the haha, and I remember seeing a comedian. And listen, first off, this is probably the hardest thing. It's probably the hardest thing to do. So I said with respect, but I remember seeing a comedian so bad that I told myself, as long as you're not this bad, you'll be fine. He was bad, but he kept going. He was bad from the first joke, and it was just like, you know what? But then I started to figure out like, why is he bad? What's wrong? Like, because these are funny stories. And then I was like, dude, as long as you're not this bad, you'll be fine. And then you told me about our boy David Arnold.
David A. Arnold. Yes.
David A. Arnold. That A stands for amazing. Rest in peace to David Arnold. And you were like, there's a guy who does a workshop, not necessarily teaching you how to be a comedian, but like help you work and refine your shit. That's exactly what happened. And October 6th, 2012, it was a Saturday morning, I got on stage.
In his class?
In his class, the first time. And I was terrified.
But you did it.
You don't understand. Like, Naomi was there, Jared, Norman, all them people.
Norman was here today. Jared's coming after you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I met all them. Terrence was in our class. He was afterwards. Who else is in that class? She's a killer. Her boyfriend's out of Cleveland, so we always talking shit. Oh God, whatever. I can't think of. She's a killer. And I got on stage in a little army T-shirt, and I said my name, and I got cotton mouth immediately. As soon as I said my name, this shit just dried up. Terrifying. And then did a couple stages after that. I remember all that shit. November 14th was the first time I ever had a book show.
Where was that?
At Flappers.
Okay.
At Flappers. And
Combat to Comedy. Did you do that? Or did you have a... No. Yours was Friends.
I would
Fuck
use
My
the
Life,
hashtag
FML.
Combat to Comedy, but it
yeah.
wasn't mine was FML Comedy Show.
Okay.
Like, Fuck My Life or whatever. But
And we here.
and now we here.
We here. So fast forward, right? Donald and I have performed on numerous birthday shows, probably over 6, I would say.
Pretty much every birthday show I've had since I've decided to do birthday shows, every birthday show and every new room I have, I'm gonna always call Taquita.
Like,
to do that
Quita,
room.
come.
Every time.
There was a pilot that was shot. I don't know what happened, but it was literally where they followed our lives on off stage.
Oh yeah.
And then recorded, some of our stage time.
Yeah.
And how it connected to, how our real lives connected to comedy.
Oh man, you taking it.
Remember
Damn.
But my memory is
there. That's
out of
good.
that. But this is how far we go back.
We go back. I know, but I'm forgetting these little things like this because I remember shooting that pilot because I heard good things about it. It's just, shit just don't take off.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to see. We were roommates, not roommates. I take that back. We were neighbors.
Neighbors. Yep.
Next door neighbors.
Next door neighbors.
It was a bachelor pad right next door to my crib.
We had a good time.
And,
me and my boy Mac. Shout out to my boy Mac. Taurus Mac Daniel. Probably shouldn't have said his whole name. Nah, we were single. Fuck that. We had a good time. We had a good time.
And from that, you have this hashtag. You have this. I don't know if it's an organization. It feels like it's a fraternity, sorority, a group. Friends don't let friends dream alone. It's like something that you coined.
Something that I coined. And it, Friends Don't Let Friends Dream Alone comes from really anybody who's come to LA from out of town, or even if you're from LA and come to Hollywood with a dream, like over time you get to learn who is who and what is what. And, you tell friends you have an idea and they either don't believe in it or try to steal it or something like that. You tell them you have an event, and you'll have the friends who are like, who's all gonna be there versus what do I need to bring. And so over the years I started to learn the difference between the two. And it's like, man, when I put stuff out in the universe, I really see who always show up for me and respond to me and stuff like that in such a positive way. And these are the people who just don't let you dream alone. So that's where it came from. Friends don't let friends dream alone.
And I'm so happy that I don't know. It'd be full circle moments. Like, I'm like, who would have known that I would have met the actor that I was admiring on stage and becoming a friend that
that's crazy.
you didn't let me dream alone. I don't let you dream
No,
alone.
not at all. Not
And
at all.
nobody that you connect with, I don't think anybody that I've met through you have been people that don't support. Like, it's just like how.
Again, it took a while, but the network is, I can't lie, my network is pretty strong. Like,
your
that's
name.
when it, and you know, for those of y'all that's watching, I don't, you know, I don't have a name now, but in our
You
community,
have a name, yes.
you know what I'm saying? Like, this is going to be out to the world, so
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, they'll have to Google, you know, but when I know when it's time, because even when I'm not helping myself, I'm always helping others. So, you know, at this point, people hang out with me like, how can I help you? How can I help you? And now this year is going to be like, this is where I need you.
Yeah.
This is where I need you. I got this idea.
Mm-hmm.
I got this idea. I quit my job again.
It'd be like that. I remember you
had to do
quit.
it. I quit twice.
Speaking of your job, I actually met now a mentor of mine, Yolando Mitchell Brown.
Yep. Yolando Brown. Yep.
Yeah, you got me booked on my first talk show. It was
didn't realize that was
Everyday Woman talk show,
Yep.
and I did stand up there.
Yep.
And I also wound up doing like crowd warm up or something like that.
Yeah. She has some like special type talent show over in Pasadena, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was when I first got hired at the Roosevelt. I was still working at overnight. And when I first went to mornings, she was working in a restaurant in the front, and she always talked. I had an idea. And so when she reached out to me, again, every new stage I have, anytime I have a new stage, and they say, "Do you have any other talent?" I was like, "You, Sean G, Keisha,
Yes.
I'm gonna y'all just, if y'all watching it, just know I'm gonna always call y'all
Come
for
on.
every new stage I ever
And vice
have.
versa.
Always.
But
it
I
never fails.
had to damn near stalk you. I was like, Donald.
For this?
Yeah, I'm joking.
No, she didn't. Well, so what happened was, again, I quit my job to go back to school full time. So I'm in school for psychology.
Come on.
And the couple of reasons I chose to do psychology is I've been through therapy myself, and I see how so helpful it was that I want to help other people. That's the second reason. The main reason is really just to be a better writer and a better like actor. You know what I mean? And I've been back in school since August. I think everybody in the world should take Psych 1.
I've taken psych.
Everybody should take Psych 1. I think it should be mandatory. A psych class, an anatomy class, biology cool, and a finance class.
Biology, how the world run.
Okay, I just took my final today, and that's why I wasn't reaching out to you when you called me last week, because I got an F. We had an exam every Monday, and I got an F so bad that I thought it was on Scantron. You know, like if you mark 4 for 3 and everything's wrong after that, I thought that's what I did.
It's like, no, this can't be right.
And I went to check it. It's like, no, these are just the answers you chose. You just gotta. I got like a 20 something on that.
Okay, well,
out of 100.
You still in there, right?
Well, no, I finished today. I passed. I passed my final.
Amen.
I never want to see a biology class again, ever.
Okay,
I mean that shit. Yeah.
So, what's your ultimate goal? And you just mentioned being in school, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And the therapy, like
100%.
Yo,
I checked myself into therapy twice too.
Okay.
The first time was, I mean, if we can dive into it.
No, yeah, you can. When you say check into therapy, like facility or just
with the VA. So I went through the VA, but you know, there was nothing extreme. I didn't like, it wasn't court ordered or it wasn't relationship shit. What had happened was 2014 at the job, we had somebody take their own life.
Oh,
not
I
an
remember
employee,
that.
but a guest.
I remember.
And I remember the smell giving me a very crazy flashback. Like literally as I'm sitting here with y'all, as soon as I got a whiff of it, I went right back to Iraq.
Yeah.
Like I don't see any of this. And so that was trippy. So then I went over to the VA, had a conversation, and it's 2014. Like I kind of suppressed it again. 2015 comes around and I go home for the holidays. And this is the first time at this point, 14, 15 years, I'm not a soldier. I'm not a comedian. I'm not an actor. I'm just a brother. I'm just an uncle. I'm just a son. And it made me realize, as much as I was going home, I was still kind of distant.
Yeah.
Like I was falling into the things they tell veterans, like, you know, if you're not careful, you're going to drift apart from your family. You'll be right there, but not quite be present. And so I checked myself into therapy. Like, I see it happening. And I was supposed to be in therapy for 3 months, and I wound up being in therapy for like 16, 17 months.
Okay.
And so got out of therapy in 2017, felt great, and got my organization back, got my swag back, right? And so I was like, all right, 2019, I started putting plans in order, like get a house, you know what I'm saying?
You got a house? Come on.
Yep.
You motivated me. I still ain't got one, but it's on the way.
It took me a year. So it took me 2 years, a year to fix my credit and then a year to find a place. So,
okay.
and then 2020, I quit my job.
Okay.
In 2020, in February on Oscar Sunday on purpose.
On purpose?
I quit on Oscar Sunday because it's like.
Isn't that busy?
Huh?
Isn't it busy?
No, that was just my motivation. I want to come because I used to work at the Roosevelt. The Roosevelt is where the first Academy Awards were. So every year they throw this big ass party for Oscar Sunday, and they recreate the Oscars, but they just have it on TV. And I was like, you know, the next time I'll come back here in a major way is to come here with my Oscar or like an award-winning film or at least a nominated film. So I just wanted to take in all the energy. And then that was February. By April, March, the pandemic happened. So now the first month, I'm actually following the rules. I'm not sneaky linking. I'm just in the house by myself. Like I'm dead. You know, that's what, that was the cause of most of the shit. The shit wouldn't have spread if motherfuckers would have just, but anyway, I was actually following the rules. And then shit started resurfacing again. Like, being at home by myself, staring at the ceiling, I started replaying the war again. And tell you how good God is, because I mean I've shared this with my therapist.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, for sure. I've shared this with people. So I checked myself in April, and these were Zoom calls, but it still was helpful because the next month George Floyd had happened, and that was the first time. That was the first time I cried because I wanted to kill somebody. And I told
the
my
soldier
and
crept back up.
Well, not even just a soldier, like the idea of being a soldier and fighting for a country that won't fight for me.
Yeah.
And and I saw how they didn't blur him out. When they kept replaying that, he wasn't blurred out. That's a message. It's like when Mike Brown died and they left his body out there for hours. That's a message. You got it. So again, you're talking to somebody. I saw, the shit that happened overseas. Like that's very similar tactics. So I told myself, I was like, if I leave this house, I'm gonna kill somebody. And it was best for me to stay in the house. And then when I finally talked to my therapist a couple of days later, I just broke down and I told her, I was like, I'm gonna stay in the house another couple of days because I'm really good with, shooting and shit. And I was like, if somebody, and I had never felt that way a day in my life. I never felt like that in Iraq. I never felt like that. I'm from Cincinnati.
I'm
like
getting Hulk vibes from
but I never felt that way in the club when somebody bumped me, step on my shit. Like I'm from the Lil Scrappy era, Lil John era, like 3-6 Mafia, tear the club up.
Yeah.
And that's when felt like, what I'm saying? And
triggered.
I was always even killed. I've always been even killed my whole life. That day, that whole week, I was like, man, I'm gonna kill somebody if I leave this house.
Well, thank God you didn't, because you would have been locked up.
I would have been locked up. Regretting that shit. But yeah.
But thank God for like mental health, and
100%.
thank God for like, I've been in therapy too. Like me being a nurse, my background's pediatric oncology. So I've seen a lot of patients die. I've bagged many bodies, kids. From,
That's why I couldn't be a firefighter. True story. Man, we got time.
No, we don't actually.
Oh, Queen, 5 minutes. Nah, we got to do a part 2, 3, and 4 because this is my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to understand. Like,
shut up! Don't try to rationalize.
I don't trust it. I don't mind opening up to you like that.
No, I feel
you've been my ace since day one.
Same here.
5 minutes wrong with you. We got to do this shit some more. Keep going.
No, but no. The point I was trying to make was that I started going to therapy after losing a patient, and then it was like a one-off, like a group thing, like, and I didn't understand what I had signed myself up for as a pediatric oncology nurse. And then further down the line, I had a patient that was my age, beautiful. HB, historically black college. And fine, like beautiful. And I think, that part, those moments kind of, they got me. It affected me. And then losing, she passed. I lost my grandmother to throat cancer, and then it was just like those moments, like it take a toll on you and you don't realize it.
100%.
And then you guard it. You don't know you guard it. And it's like, I can't really connect, are you going to die? Because, everybody else. But there's a disconnect. It's like we have to separate ourselves from that part. And then the reality is that there are a bunch of non-sick people.
Or,
and people will be okay.
We have to learn to just love on people and max this thing out. And when they do transition, this year more than any year, I had to learn how to actually grieve. I never took time to grieve about nothing.
Yeah, the pandemic made me grieve.
My 3-year-old godson that passed away in 2006, that really shaped a lot of shit. My father, who I didn't get a chance to cuss him out and be his friend. My grandmother, who I had a feeling, you know what I'm saying? The last year, because it was boom, my grandmother, boom, Miss Tia, boom, David. You know what I'm saying? Teddy. It was so many people that I was like, we're taught to just like move on. But last year was the first time I had to learn I had to stop and grieve. That's why I quit my job at the end of the year. I needed time to myself. And that's when I learned, like, of the 5 stages of grief, there needs to be a 6th stage, which is celebration.
I remember you posting that.
We need to celebrate.
Yeah, life is worth living.
And we need to celebrate any loss.
Yeah.
We don't have to wait somebody, like, before we started, I was talking to him about moving on from friends, right? Everybody in your life ain't supposed to be in your life, especially if you go into the next chapter. You can't take everybody with you, right? So learn to cherish that and celebrate that. It's easier to move on from. So, still grieving, you know what I'm saying, if I'm being honest. So it's been hard to write jokes, but I've been writing a little bit here and there. But grief. People grieve. Also, when it comes to therapy, because I know our time is almost up.
Oh, don't worry. Okay, you got it.
Don't be afraid to go to therapy. I had to rationalize it as, I look at therapy as hiring a personal trainer for your mind.
I agree.
If you look at it like that, at the top of the year, everybody goes to the gym. People start, they don't finish, but then they go back. If you look at it like you went to the gym with a goal, I want to make myself better. I want to lose weight. I want to get my energy up. It's the same thing. Like when I go to a therapist, I want to lose weight. I want to get some of this weight off my mind.
Yeah.
I want to get my mental
endurance
up.
That's a good way to put it.
I want, you know what I'm saying? So I hired this trainer and we set small goals leading up to an ultimate goal. And if people look at it like that, I think that would erase so much of the stigma of people go to therapy because they crazy. That's 2 generations old.
I hate to say it's like having a dentist, but when you grow up, you learn that, like, my gynecologist is important. My family practice doctor is important. The ophthalmologist is important. And also a therapist is important. And I learned, because if you're successful and you're doing all these things, nursing, that my job kind of was the catalyst, and then it was relationship, and then it was what do I want to do in life, and then it was how do I handle situations that I can't control. And it's like, why do I feel this way about this? And it's like understanding 100%. Where you at, understanding why you do something. That don't mean you got to change immediately. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. It's like, now I get why I do this. Or why
nothing like clarity. Nothing.
And then it's just like, what am I do now that I know? And that's the thing. That's on us.
But a lot of us still don't want to know the truth. That's why we don't check our credit or health, because if I know the truth, then I got to do something about it, right?
Or you know why why the boat is sinking.
100%. But again, therapy, these are my opinions. You go to therapy for one of 3 reasons, if not all 3: to deal with trauma, to help organize your thoughts, and to get your confidence up. And self-esteem and confidence up. And so usually one leads to the other, so if you deal with one, you know what I'm saying. But man, those are reparations I want. I don't want no money. If we get our minds right, we can get the money.
But I want money too.
That's 2, meaning it's second.
I
don't want that first. I want our mind right. Because if you give us money now, we're gonna give it right back.
That's true. That's what's up. therapy. I have a new therapist. Do you mind sharing the race and the gender of your therapist?
So my first therapist was a white man, and I told him, I was like, not that I've ever been triggered, but you are the problem. And so I told him no. Anytime, you know, in my military experience where I had a white counselor, a white therapist, a lot of shit just didn't get done.
Okay.
So I was like, I need a woman from now on.
Okay.
In the VA, there weren't a lot of black women, but my last two therapists, one was Indian, like Middle Eastern, and the most recent one was Iranian.
Okay.
And still had that connection, still got it, and was able to do a lot of breakthroughs. Had a lot of great stuff come out of there. So yeah, it was women.
My first therapist, I don't know the first one, but the one I had during the pandemic was a white male, and he fell asleep on me a lot.
Wow. And you paid for that?
Yeah, wow. I needed somebody to listen to me so bad that I was like, okay. He dropped the phone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, my
but
therapist cried with me.
That's what's up. But now, the reason I'm mentioning the reason I mentioned this is because just like a trainer, a personal trainer, just like a dentist, just like a doctor, sometimes you really have to go through and try people out and see what works best for me.
100%.
What's the best fit for me? And right now
that's with everything. Jobs,
that's with
dating, everything.
Because some people are like, I tried therapy and it didn't work, and I'm just like, okay, but like, are you connecting with the person that you're speaking with?
Yeah.
And right now, I had the last therapist, the last three that I had were all black, 2 women. The person I have now that I absolutely love. And connect with the most is a black male. And it's just like the professionalism is what it is. And I can talk how I want to talk. Yeah. You understand. And I feel like you get me and you know what I'm saying? 100%. Like, so, and now, like, not that the other people prior were not, sufficient, right. But when you find that person that do your
it's
haircut
very important.
On point,
you
don't want to let them go.
It truly is.
Yeah. So I'm at the point now. That's why I'm doing a podcast. I'm like, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm following the things that make me happy.
100%, man.
And it's like, if you got to support yourself, you put it out there.
It always start with self. It's the pushing a car theory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see somebody pulled over on the side of the road and they in a car, you'll think they're fine. You see somebody getting out pushing a car, you will stop the universe, and so many people will stop to help them. And that's what it is. Everything starts with self.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I'm so happy you came to see me and to visit me. I don't know when we gotta, May, birthday show.
So I'm really,
if it happens,
I mean, this year, like, I'm torn because I really want to do a stage play, but my school schedule is so busy. Like, I would have to jump on somebody else's play. Okay. I couldn't produce it myself. Okay. I couldn't write it, produce it. But you know, if I can audition and get in somebody's play, and happens to be going that weekend, because that's Mother's Day weekend too. Okay. Your birthday's Saturday, my birthday's Monday.
You already looked at the dates? Huh? You already looked at the day of the week for this year? Okay.
Always, because my birthday's on a Monday. Mother's Day is the day before this year, so it's the 14th. Okay. And so, because I'm thinking, like, if I do a show, do I do it that Friday or that Saturday? Like,
Well, keep me posted.
If it's comedy, I'm gonna call you. I'll call you by March. Like, hey, I got us booked. Like, you know what I mean? And I turned 40 this year.
Oh yeah.
So I gotta do something. Yeah. I had to do something fire. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, let me know. Tell everybody where they can find you here in your.
I mean, Taquita couldn't find me, so y'all can't find me. So don't even worry about it.
I was like, I'm
at home, man. Find me at school. Right now, I've just been at school. But no website for now. Just my Instagram, Donald M. George. That's where I'm at. You'll find it. I got a tiger onesie on right now. I'm killing it with that.
Oh yeah, y'all go follow him, and please don't take that down, because
it's never coming down.
You look like
as soon as football season started, we start winning again. It's coming back. If we would have made it to the Super Bowl, the dance I was gonna do in that onesie, it'd have been crazy.
You can still do the dance.
Nah, that motherfucker too hot to do some sad shit.
And she slang them jokes, Save your life with the right advice, medicine and some laughter every night.
But it's crazy. People always want hookups. My mama called me at work today and was like, you think you could bring home a couple cases of flu shots for your sister baby shower? We just gonna set a table up and you could just do your thing. You want me to administer flu shots at the baby shower? Well, you could put them in the gift bags if you don't want to get a shot. So I was like, what?